Hey up. So, how do you do? Všechno jde dobře?
One trusts you have met Shenhe. So, are you getting along quite well?
Chová se jako kdyby nevěděl, jak lidské tělo funguje a co všechno potřebuje na chod.
So far, so good. Yeah. So, you know Shenhe too, Cloud Retainer?
Naturally. Save for Ganyu, who spends the majority of her time in Liyue Harbor. All the Adepti living today are acquainted with Shenhe to some degree.
Cool. So,
Wow.
this name anyway, calling her Shenhe feels kind of friendly, but also kind of disrespectful. So Paimon's thinking maybe
She's not Adeptus.
Her Adeptus name. Why, pray tell, would Shenhe have an Adeptus?
I know, don't listen to her.
don't all
Chci to pokud možno přeskočit.
On this latter point, you are correct. However,
Je jenom nová.
Oh, right.
Thought so.
You knew already? So is Paimon the only one who didn't know?
Yes.
do you mean to say that she presents differently from ordinary human beings?
Where do I start? Where do I fucking start?
Well, to start with, her problem-solving methods are extremely direct.
Což neplatí o tvém popisu.
Ah, yes. She was like this all those years ago when one first met her. In this respect, she has not changed.
Taky neví, jak funguje jídlo a jak funguje spánek.
One first found Shenhe by chance in a cave. One was passing by and sensed the presence of a god's remains. Being of an ever-vigilant disposition, one entered immediately to inspect the scene. Inside was Shenhe, then aged around 6 years old. In her hand, she held a dagger with which she was confronting a monster that was the god's remains incarnate.
Okay.
Sounds so dangerous.
When one arrived, she had already been locked in confrontation with this monster for several days. Most mortal children are fragile, both physically and mentally, and are highly reliant on their parents for survival. But not so her. That she was able to endure such terrible danger was due not only to her strong willpower, but also to the bloodlust and homicidal instinct with which she was born.
Jak jiná by mohla být, kdyby si jí našli ty fetuji, zač nezná je první.
One dealt with the monster, yet she still refused to lower her guard. She even pointed her dagger in one's direction and remained ready to strike. Only after she was satisfied that one had no intention to cause her harm did she finally relent. She then passed out without uttering a single word.
In other words, if you hadn't passed by that day, Shenhe might have...
Not necessarily. Upon one's arrival, one could sense that the god's wrath was gradually receding. Even had the stalemate continued, one suspects that Shenhe may have still emerged the victor of the confrontation.
Takže to jenom urychlila.
That's still so dangerous, though. Why was a tiny little kid battling against the wrath of a god in the first place?
Alas, the mortal world is rife with suffering of every kind. And she had experienced her fair share of this, even at a tender age. Seeing that she was homeless, one decided to adopt her.
Oh, so you're her master.
Indeed, it is one to whom she refers. Shenhe has an extraordinary constitution, making her well adapted to practicing the Adepti arts. All the Adepti cherished her talents, and so we were willing to train her. However, her homicidal urges did not subside with age. Rather, they grew stronger day by day. Mooncarver once performed a divination for her. He declared that her fate is to bear the curse of calamity. Consumed by malevolent energy, she is prone to bring harm to those around her. Such is the magnitude of the danger this poses, That her soul must be bound with red ropes to keep her homicidal instinct at bay.
Jak říkám, kdyby se k ní dostal ty Fatui, tak by to bylo hodně špatný.
The red ropes have indeed served to keep her calmer and more content. They also seem to have rendered her somewhat inexpressive. Perhaps the red ropes are so powerful that they have suppressed some of her other emotions as well.
But that's not much of a life anyway. Oh.
It is only by fate that people's paths may cross. Now that Shenhe's path has crossed with yours, please be sure to treasure the gift that fate has given you, and take good care of her.
Oh, now Paimon gets it. You came out here to check up on Shenhe because you were worried about her, didn't you?
Huh. You dare draw such a facile conclusion on the nature of one's present excursion? Incorrect. The truth is that while Liyue Harbor may seem peaceful today, danger is always lurking in the shadows.
Yeah, takže to byl secondary quest, ne primary, ale byl to rozhodně secondary quest, který si chtěla.
Ningguang once made a bold assertion that this is to be the era of the contract between Liyue and the humans. Well, one is most curious to observe how she will respond to the coming storm. If she handles it admirably, one is willing to be a witness to her achievements. But if she does not, the Adepti shall not hesitate to seize control. Let us conclude our conversation here for today. One has occupied enough of your time, and night is approaching. Be sure to get ample rest.
Alright.
So, Shenhe isn't an Adeptus after all. She just grew up around the Adepti. Oh, no wonder she doesn't like being treated as an Adeptus. Having everyone falling over themselves to show their respect all the time must be kind of hard to deal with.
Je tady. Kryju pod střížkou minimálně. Jelikož já hold medituju, tak a na ní jsem si nepřečetl, jaký je ten čas, ale myslím, že by to mělo být 8 ráno. Bylo to někdy ve dne, takže prostě třeba. Takže jsem se neseknul.
Hey, so, Shenhe...
Master has relayed my situation to you, I take it?
Yep.
Oh? How did you know?
I'd intended to wait until you came back before going to sleep, but I didn't hear you come in. I was worried that something may have happened to you. So I went outside to check and caught sight of my master.
Yeah.
On top of this, you have been acting very strangely around me this morning, causing me to suspect that my master must have told you everything about me. After all, Master is... very talkative.
Sorry, Shenhe. Paimon had you down as an Adeptus this whole time, but it turns out Paimon was wrong.
It's okay. I don't mind.
Oh, do you?
The fault is mine for not explaining everything to you sooner, because in my experience, trying to explain is a futile pursuit. Still, though you mistook me for an Adeptus, you never treated me as distant and unapproachable. Instead, you treated me as you would a friend.
Yes. Friendship is magic.
For this, I am very grateful indeed.
To be fair, we've met our fair share of real Adepti, too. Anyway, now it's settled. From now on, you're our friend. Whether you're an Adeptus or a human isn't the important thing. First and foremost, we're just plain old friends.
Yes, Hammeriden. Třeba to ještě nepochopila. Ještě jedno.
Got it. Although I don't know quite what it entails in terms of what I have to do, I must say I like the title Friend very much indeed.
Great! Well, now that we're all rested up, we should start searching for the other 2 items on the list.
Kdo ví, třeba se na konci téhleté hodně dlouhé journey stane něco, kde uvidíme její violent nature vyplavat.
But before we do that, let's go to the building site and ask Ningguang's little helper how the progress is going.
The
After all,
little helper.
Sunset Vermilionite is so rare. Paimon doubts many competitors will really be able to find any. If it turns out some of them have given up already, we'll be able to take things a little more slowly. Oh, and another thing. We bought some grilled chicken drumsticks on the way back last night. There was a place just outside. Here's one for you, Shenhe. Try it. They're so good.
I concur. It has a rich flavor, far more agreeable than those I've cooked for myself in the wilderness in the past.
Když nevíš nic o vaření, tak nemůžeš čekat dobrý vaření. A pokud myslíš, že máš dobrý vaření a není to dobré, jak myslíš, tak to znamená, že není dobrý vaření a že si nám nalháváš. I když ty pravděpodobně máš non-emotion problém. A vidím Baidu a novou postavu, kterou vím, že se jmenuje Yunjin. A dělal nějaký a jedna její ambice je, že dělá nějaký akrobatický věci s tyčkou, takže kdo ví, vůbec nevím. Ale má geo. Hej, to bylo rychlý. To bylo hodně rychlý. Takže to budou stavět ve vzduchu. Wow.
Given the enormous scale of the Jade Chamber, we split the construction work into 2 phases to make sure the structure remains balanced. Before we find some suitable plastrite, we build the Jade Chamber's keel at ground level.
Pravděpodobně z hlediska tohohle questu jsme už Baidu viděli, což jo, ale kdybychom ji potkali prvně, její má hangout event, ale ten je zařazený těma prerequisite questama až po Inazumě. Až po té, co dokončíme celou Inazumu. A myslím ještě nějaký hangout questy nebo story questy první. Takže to se hned nemůže stát. A myslím, že jsem slyšel, že Baidu je ta, co vás dostane do Inazumy, takže to je taky ta jedna věc. Takže někdy mezi tím, co jsme v Inazumě, někdy kdekoliv, tak tohle je. Anyway.
Once the plastrite is ready, we place it into the keel and let the partially constructed Jade Chamber rise up to the height of the surrounding mountain peaks. The remainder of the construction work is then carried out at that altitude. Once everything is ready, we release the iron tethers and allow the Jade Chamber to rise to its target altitude.
Miss Bywin, we've brought some new materials to submit.
One moment, I'll be right there. The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plastrite provided by you. Lady Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more of your work.
Wow, can't believe you sourced the plastrite so quickly. It's the key piece of the puzzle. Looks like you beat us to the punch.
Beidou, you're joining the Jade Chamber contest too?
Sure am. I happened to get my hands on a chunk of sunset vermilionite on a voyage a while back, so I figured I'd bring it over.
Hej, už teď mám docela rád. Moc cool osobnost.
We're not the only ones who managed to get a hold of it.
Oh, I've got some introductions to do. This is the renowned Miss Yun, or Yunjin, probably the most famous figure in the Liyue opera scene.
Ah,
Greetings.
opera.
These two are Paimon and the Traveler, both good buddies of mine. And
Not really.
this is, sorry, not sure we've met.
Shenhe. I am their friend.
Friend.
Good to meet you. A friend of a friend is my friend too. Or, as I like to say, a mate of a crewmate is part of the crew. Miss Yun is also here for the contest. Turns out she needed to borrow a boat, so we came together.
It's an honor to
Yay.
finally meet you both. I've heard much about you. Miss Shenhe, though we are only meeting for the first time, I have a feeling that we will get along very well indeed. To be honest with you all,
Maybe.
I
Strong
am in
maybe.
great need of this opportunity to ask Lady Ningguang a question. That's why I joined the contest. Thanks to my father's connections, I was able to acquire a specimen of the plastrite required.
Fortunately, it was approved for submission, despite being a little on the diminutive side.
Wow. So it looks like the three of us are competitors now.
Excuse me for prying, Miss Shenhe, but are you competing as well?
No, I don't have any questions for Ningguang. I just wanted to help her win.
In that case, I have a proposal to make. Lady Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials will be awarded the chance to ask a question. Well, there are 3 teams here. We can split the prize between us. Instead of competing against each other, we could work together to secure the top 3 places between us.
Oh.
What do you think?
Now this is some gaming. Gaming of the system. Jsem nečekal, že uslyším takovýhle taktizování.
Sounds great, but how does that change things exactly?
Můžeme mít víc nápadů, kde schánět věci.
I think I see where you're going with this, Miss Yoon. The plastrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all 3 of us managed to get our hands on it. The 2 remaining items aren't quite so rare, so as long as one of us finds a way to source it, the other 2 can hop on the bandwagon. How'd I do? Is that what you had in mind?
Precisely.
Huh. Interesting approach.
Okay then. All right, I'll go first. I have some leads on these wonder cores. From what I've heard, the core itself is really not that difficult to make. The hard part is getting hold of the ore used as raw materials. I'm gonna head back to the ship and ask Suling if he's heard of them. You guys...
We will head into town and seek advice from Master Zhang of Hanfeng's Ironmongers. Thoughts?
That's limited. Sounds good. Let's go.
Wonderful. We'll split into teams then, and whoever makes progress first brings all of us a step closer to victory. I'm gonna take off. See you later.
Bye. Těším se, ještě poprvé uvidím, protože se neznáme.
Okay, let's go.
Až se dostaneme do Inazumy, tak ji budeme muset vyhledat. A až ji najdeme, tak se poprvé potkáme.
By the way, what question are you gonna ask Ningguang Yunjin?
I'm looking for a venue to host the performance of our new opera. Lady Ningguang has excellent judgment, so I would
Wow.
like to hear her opinion.
I mean,
Ooh,
You-
what's the opera called? Paimon wants to go see it.
The opera is a labor of love by my father. He wrote it based on a popular urban legend about an evil spirit and an adeptus. It's called The Divine Damsel of Devastation.
proč to zní jako někdo, koho známe? Už jsem myslel, že mě donutí sledovat nějaký cinematik, když to bude pravděpodobně v bodě, kdy přímo zajdeme na tu hru. Well, let's ask around on the Wonder Course. A tady je nějaká osoba na cestě. Úplnou náhodou. Yep. Značka je sice někde jinde a tady nás zastaví.
Yes, they have the audacity to go after anything. The 7 dragons, gods. No ancient artifact that relates can escape their greedy ambitions.
Ale ne. Já už vím, co to je něco jiného. God damn it. Well, tak hoď si vyslechneme první dialog v tom aktu 4 od Dainslava. Jak jsem říkal, že tu chapter 1 akt 4 si necháme na potom? Tohle je vada. To nemá s tím vůbec nic společného.
Still, this time is different. Who do they think they are, going after the Abyss Order's treasures?
Well, ten prelude quest Dainslava jsem začal v nějakým jiném díle, tak a pokračoval jsem to teď, tak tohle bude stejný. Vyslechneme si první konverzaci a to samotný quest uvidíte někde jindy.
Oh, traveler.
You're
it's
welcome.
you.
Huh? Ganyu, what are you doing here with Lan? Do you have a commission you need to post?
Hello. We
Hello.
were just discussing the treasure hoarders.
Yes. We were just saying how even the audacious treasure hoarders should know better than to mess with the Abyss. It's just too evil.
But we recently received intel from the Ministry of Civil Affairs that 2 big-time treasure hoarders in Liyue and Mondstadt are planning some big joint operation.
Okay.
2 big-time treasure hoarders?
Yes. They're known as Big Sis of the South and Raptor of the North.
Oh, Raptor! Paimon remembers he tried to run away from Amber in Mondstadt. But who is Big Sis of the South?
Does Big Sis mean she bosses people around?
You are correct. She's the head of the treasure hoarders in Liyue. As I understand it, the treasure hoarders all call her boss. Some say that the god of thieves even bestowed a gift upon her for her exploits, making her Big Sis of the gods. But that's probably just a wild rumor.
Anyway, the treasure hoarders discovered some previously unexplored ruins that the Abyss Order has been secretly guarding in the shadows.
Okay.
Despite how dangerous that makes it, all the treasure hoarders can think about is what kinds of treasure could be inside.
Treasure Hoarders, to dává smysl.
They have already devised a plan. They will send out a decoy to divert the Abyss Order's forces away from the ruins, then send an expert thief inside to steal the treasure.
To this end, Big Sis and Raptor have reportedly recruited a certain Grand Thief from Fontaine.
Okay, nějaká země, kterou neznáme.
Grand Thief? That's quite an impressive sounding title.
Oh, indeed. He is an extraordinary individual. The Grand Thief is highly respected in the treasure hoarders, in the same way that we adventurers look up to great adventurers.
Just like Stanley?
Ah, you met the living legend himself while you were in Mondstadt. Correct. The Grand Thief is someone just as renowned as him. So, despite being relative big-timers in Liyue and Mondstadt, Big Sis and Raptor had to put in a lot of work to convince a thief of his status to come and personally oversee this operation.
With the major changes in Liyue recently, the Ministry of Civil Affairs and the Millelith already have their hands full. They don't have any time to investigate rumors about treasure hoarder activity, but anything related to the Abyss makes me feel like there is some unknown danger lurking beneath the surface.
Don't worry, we'll take care of it.
I decided to come to the Adventurers Guild to post a commission.
Well, since I'm already here...
Leave this commission to us.
Oh, thank you so much.
Good to see this in the hands of a reliable guild member. Well then, good luck. The guild will take care of the details of this commission.
Yep, chapter 4. We will be reunited. And even though that is lovely, to bude až někde jinde. Well, what am I saying? Bude to hned příští díl. Abych to, když už jsem to začal, tak abych to nějak docvaknul. Obzvláště když je to chapter 4 a to Inazuma je chapter 2 a je to klasifikovaný jako Archon Quest, takže mě to čeká. A když už to bude, tak když už jsme v podstatě zhruba v půlce mý Sacred Timeliny, co jsem si načrtnul, tak je to takový appropriate. Tak, a teď zpátky k tomuhle.
Are you here for something off the shelf, or do you need something forged?
Excuse me, Master Zhang. We were wondering if you'd heard of something called a Wonder Core.
Pravděpodobně stejná reakce jako tam předtím. Tuny lidí o tom mluví a chtějí to. Co myslíš?
Of course I have. Sorry, who's asking?
Legendární traveler a pravděpodobně ultimátní opera singer.
My name is Yunjin. Perhaps you don't know me, but I believe that you forged some weaponry for my father in the past for stage use.
Yunjin? Stage use? Oh, so you must be Miss Yoon.
Yes.
Sorry. My brain's finally caught up. It's not used to doing much beyond bashing a hammer all day. Everyone's heard of you, Miss Yoon. Even folks who don't make it to the opera all that often. Like myself. So, you're here to ask about Wonder Cores, huh? As it happens, I do know how to make them. Matter of fact, I made some for Lady Ningguang back when she was building the original Jade Chamber.
Oh, cool.
The types of ore needed to make wonder cores are a little hard to come by. Lady Ningguang supplied them herself last time. I don't suppose you've brought any yourselves?
No, we were gonna ask you what kinds of ore we need.
Yeah, tell us.
Sure. Well, you'll need two kinds. Star Splinter Iron and Subrosium. If I remember correctly,
To zní badass.
Lady Ningguang sourced her Star Splinter Iron from the Mount Tianheng area. They say it resonates with visions.
And me, I guess.
It could take some work, but if you stick with it, you'll find some eventually. As for the Subrosium, though, that's trickier. It's all but unheard of on the market.
Then where do we start? Any ideas?
I'm really not sure. Sorry. What I've heard is that the people around Mount Tianheng have some sort of magic trick that can pinpoint the location of the stuff. Of course, it's probably just hearsay. If you want my advice, start by looking for Star Splinter Iron around Mount Tianheng. And if you run into any locals, ask them a few questions about Subrosium.
Mount Tianheng.
Interestingly enough, the story of the divine damsel of devastation also takes place on that mountain.
Jaká to náhoda?
I hear the view there is quite spectacular. A favorite destination of the Adepti, in fact. Perhaps it can give me some inspiration. Let's not delay. We should head straight there.
No. Thank you for info. A je to úplně náhodou přesně vedle. Jej. Alright. Give it to me.
I came to Mount Tianheng once with my father as a child. I remember it being such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top. This is quite a trip down memory lane for me. Look at these majestic towering peaks and the gently flowing streams. It's like setting foot in paradise. No wonder the legend of the divine damsel of devastation is said to have taken place here. Adepti wander oft where mortals seldom stride. Indeed, this looks like a place that one might expect to be frequented by Adepti.
The Divine Damsel of Devastation is your upcoming opera, right? And the story takes place in Mount Tianheng. Huh. Seems like you have a real connection with this place. What's the story about, though?
It's the story of a girl becoming a hero.
Oh gee, I don't...
A hero story? They're Paimon's favorite!
The legend first arose in this area. It is said that there used to be a prosperous village on the mountain. In that village, there was a loving couple who were completely devoted to one another. One day, a terrifying monster appeared. The wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. Her husband was so distraught at the news that it broke his spirit and drove him to madness. The vile and vicious monster told the villagers, "If you want to live, you must sacrifice a child to me."
Interesting. Asi všichni víme, kam tohle míří.
What a nasty piece of work! Paimon sure hopes this monster gets put in its place!
But the monster was so terrible and so strong that all within the village were terrified of it. They had no choice but to give in to the monster's demand. Just while they were discussing whose child would be given over to the monster, a little girl suddenly stood up and came forward.
No! Don't do it, little girl!
Unbeknownst to anybody else, she was concealing an exorcist's blade. She approached the monster's lair, feigning fear and trepidation. When she finally arrived, she courageously drew her sword and entered into a fierce struggle with the monster, from which she eventually emerged as the victor. Her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti, and they took her as one of their own. Her story became the stuff of legends. But alas, the paths of mortals and Adepti seldom cross, and she would never again re-enter the mortal world.
Wow, to je docela sad. A docela, hele, to je smutný a taky hrozně vtipný. Zároveň, ale a tak obě dvě zároveň a ze stejného důvodu.
And so, destined to grace the mortal realm for but a brief moment, she vanished like a wisp of smoke into thin air. That's how the opera ends.
Meaningful look at Shenhe for obvious reasons, anebo jí nerušit. Jako přiznejme si to každý sami sobě. Kdyby jsme byli v jejich pozici a stáli tam a věděli a Shenhe by nám řekla svůj příběh a pak Cloud Retainer taky svoji stranu a pak bychom tohle slyšeli. Myslím, že každý z nás by se na ní otočil. Pravděpodobně bychom se otočili na ní někdy uprostřed, když by nám to došlo. Prostě wait a minute. Já se na ní podívám, protože každý z nás by to udělal.
I really like this story, but I personally think that perhaps the little girl was not as brave as the opera makes her out to be. I'm not sure she deserves all the praise she is given.
I've never considered that before. Opera is always an interpretation of the events it purports to portray. A certain degree of deviation from the truth is always inevitable. When my father wrote the script for this play, I suppose his intention was to inspire his audience with the character of the divine damsel.
I think it's a great story. The ideal story.
Well, it sure inspired Paimon! Let's go get ourselves some Star Splinter Iron! Yeah!
Yeah, whatever. Use visions to find the Star Splinter Iron. Napadly mě dvě věci. Buď tu něco proplesknout nějakým elementárním skillem, anebo ten True Sight věc. Yeah, screw you. Ah, there you go. I found it already.
This should be enough Star Splinter Iron. Now we just need to find that Subrosium.
I think I saw a village on our way here. Master Zhong said we should ask the locals for help. Why don't we try there?
Nějaká hezké, teď jenom hledám nějakou caveu.
Hey, there really is someone here.
Hello.
Yunjin, looks like you were right. Excuse us, sir. Can we ask you something? Huh. He didn't seem to catch that.
Hello, sir. We were just passing by and wanted to ask if you happen to know anything about Subrosium.
Is he trying to tell us to look for clues in the village? Well, whatever. Guess we're on our own here. Shenhe, Yunjin.
Sorry, you can go ahead without me. I'd like to have a word with this gentleman. If that's okay with you, Uncle Mingjin.
It's...
Yep.
Shenhe.
Shenhe. You're alive. The rumors were true.
I guess the bubble pops now?
All these years? I'm sorry, I don't know how to find Subrosium. But I think you can find some information in the village.
Vypadá to moc jako vesnice.
This place is deserted now.
Yep.
No one ever comes here. So you can rummage around all you want.
Huh? You know this guy, Shenhe?
Uncle.
Thank you, kind sir. We'll go and take a look around.
Yes.
Don't worry. Mingjun has no ill intention towards Miss Shenhe. She'll be quite safe.
Okay, then let's see what we can find in this village.
Okay. Je plně vědomá a je úplně v pohodě se netázat nějaký otázky a prostě defusnout situaci. Meat and cabbage. Tato chatka, you say.
What's this?
Oh, reading! Yay! Všichni se těšíte, že? The doctors said you were gravely ill. Don't worry, I will give you everything to save you. My heart bleeds whenever I see you getting wearier. Your illness beyond treatment. How I wish I could suffer the pain for you. You said you had no regrets in this life, and that you only wished for me to take good care of Shenhe. But you regret nothing. Why the tears? I don't know what I've been doing lately. Nevím, jestli je tam víc postav, ale... Though I still breathe, I feel like an empty shell. I have read all the ancient texts I could get my hands on, looking for ways to save you, but it is utterly futile. I have finally found it. It was Mingjun. He had kept the book that could save you hidden. What? Anyway, nějaká chybka asi v textu. I took it and followed its instructions to summon a god and offer a sacrifice. Okay. A god appeared. I told him that I was willing to exchange my life for yours. He kept silent and only pointed at our daughter, Shenhe. The god said that her fate was to bear the curse of calamity, and that she was prone to bring harm to others close to her. The god also said that she might even have been the cause of your death. In that case, I thought I should. I left her in the cave that the god mentioned. 3 days have passed and still no news. I grow restless from waiting, seized by an ominous feeling. I am sorry, my love. Forgive me. You too, Shenhe. Please forgive me. How stupid I was. How blind. Let me apologize to both of you. In person. Maybe the story of the damsel distress is true.
So, Shenhe is the divine damsel? Now that I think about it, she does behave rather like an adeptus, and she is about the right age. So that's why I've been getting the strangest feeling whenever I chat with her. I should have noticed it earlier. According to this text, the divine damsel from the opera was actually the daughter of the loving couple. And she didn't volunteer. She was sacrificed to the monster by her own father.
Yeah, it's cruel.
Oh, the truth is even more lamentable than the opera. Now I understand why Shenhe said the girl was not as brave as people think. It wasn't her choice to enter that ghastly situation. She was forced into it. Oh, it looks like my father may need to make a few revisions to his beloved opera.
I presume he is alive? Předpokládám, že je dostatečně živej na to, aby to reviznul, že se neobtěžujeme s dalším mrtvolným taťkou. Next up. Alright.
So it seems that Shenhe's father thought he was summoning a benevolent deity using a magic incantation. But in fact, he summoned an evil god's remains, which took the form of a monster.
Okay, now for the reading. A branch family of exorcists used to live in the east of the village, but in around 2 weeks the mother died of a disease. The young daughter went missing, and shortly after, the father hanged himself on a tree in the yard of his own house. Wow. It has been confirmed that traces of an evil god's remains were found in the village. The villagers are panicking and no one is certain whether the evil god's remains are gone for good. Do be careful when you are in this area.
His obsessive yearning for his deceased wife led to a terrible tragedy. The villagers moved away in fear, without ever learning the truth. And now, this place is deserted. Still, I do wonder what the connection is between Shenhe and Mingjun.
Uncle. former dream.
Mention of Sybrosium. Let's have a look over there.
Well, let's see what we get. Witness the truth of the village's history. A former dream. Jak je krásný vidět takový závaly random scrollu. Dobrý, Paimon řekla něco random napřed, takže se to nezapne sama. Mother Miscellany. Magic engraved on Sybrosium does not wear off easily. Some believe the stone to be a bridge between the living and the dead. However, finding Sybrosium is no easy matter. You need to be at the right place at the right time. Legend has it that you may find Sybrosium if you stand in the middle of the lake, southern mountain at the dusk, and look in the direction of the setting sun. Okay, very specific.
So basically, we need to go to the middle of the lake south of Mount Tianheng at dusk, and we'll find us some Sybrosium. Let's go back and tell Shenhe the news.
Druhou půlku of the news, maybe. Bygones time like dust passing.
One year when I was back visiting, I heard a story about a white-haired adeptus from a merchant passing by. I never imagined it was you.
Ona není adeptus, ona je normální lidská human being.
I was a very close friend of your father's. I could have stopped him from performing the summoning ritual. I had plenty of chances, but I couldn't bring myself to stand up to him. I just let things happen, let it all escalate. Well, we all know how that story ended. I bring flowers back here every year. And each time I wish I had a chance to apologize to you.
Apologize for what? If you'd stopped him, he'd only have found another way. There is nothing he wouldn't have done for his true love. Nothing.
Do you still hate him?
I don't know what I feel. I'm told my fate is to bear the curse of calamity, so my master bound my soul with red ropes to curb my aggression. But it also dampened my emotions, making me dispassionate, like the Adepti. So if you ask me how I feel about the past, if I hate my father or not, the truth is, I feel nothing at all.
It must have been so tough for you all these years.
Shenhe, we're back!
No idea how much we heard.
Oh, then I will leave you all in peace. Shenhe, it brings me some solace knowing that you are okay. I'll tell you more about the old times next time we meet.
Thanks, mister. We found some info in the end.
Robotické otáčení odcházení? There we go.
Shenhe, look. This tells us how to find Sybrosium. All we gotta do is go to the middle of that lake.
Let's go then.
Jo, je těžký to nezmínit.
Miss Shenhe, there's something I'd like to talk to you about.
Oh boy, here we go. Vemte si popcorn, tohle bude zajímavý.
Just now, in the village, we found your father's diary. It turns out that many of the details in the Divine Damsel of Devastation are not true to the facts. So I'd like to change them.
Why?
I know I say that opera always deviates from the truth, but now that the main character is standing right here in front of me, I cannot simply dismiss your lived experience in favor of my father's fiction.
It's okay. I like your version.
But,
My master once said that the day I learn how to use my strength for the good of others is the day that I can truly become part of human society. So, I hope that one day I might be brave enough to stand up and protect others, just like the girl in the opera. But I've never thought this way before, and I wonder whether I will continue to think in this way.
don't worry. I believe you will.
We believe in you.
In fact, I think maybe you've already started to become the person you aspire to be. You just haven't had the opportunity to see it for yourself yet.
Shenhe, Yunjin, cut the chit chat. Let's go.
Wow.
Can't let someone else beat us to it.
Paimon. Mood ruined. Jesus. Jako, come on. Jako, to bylo tak nehorázně rude. Jako, excuse me? $7:30. There we go. Zrovna to bylo teďko nedávno. Vy můžete rolnout 2 dny najednou, to je hodně zajímavý. That is interesting. 7:30. Že je 7:24. Tak si prostě tady zameditujeme. Nebo si vytáhneme čajovou konvici a budeme tam. Pak vylezeme z čajové konvice a tam taradám. Good enough. Look for Subrosium. Go over there. Okay. Hello? Whoa.
That's everything we need. Let's head back and report in. Paimon's curious if Beto's made any progress.
Well, we shall find out soon enough.
I'll catch up.
Give it. There you go. Have it.
Goodness.
So, are they okay?
This is some top quality ore you found. I think I'll get a good end product out of these. Guess now it's my time to shine.
Hey everyone,
Dung,
how's
dung,
the
bang,
A-team
bang.
doing? I ran into a bit of a brick wall on my end. Suling's never seen a Wonder Core before, and says it'd take a lot of research for him to get up to speed.
Leave the Wonder Cores to me. I'll work on them while you go about your business. Don't worry. It won't take me too long.
Much obliged, Master Zhang. We should look into the Adepti sigils next, but where should we find items relating to the Adepti?
I'll sort that out.
Oh? You got this then?
Yes. I have been training with the Adepti for years. I know a thing or two about making sigils. When we first met, I told you I came for the Jade Chamber, not the contest. In fact, I came specifically to deliver Adepti sigils.
Jo, jasně.
Master heard that Ningguang was planning to rebuild the Jade Chamber, so she sent me to deliver some Adepti sigils to her. Master also said she hoped that I can take this opportunity to rejoin human society. But now that I'm here, I wonder if I've been removed from the world for too long. There's so much basic knowledge that I lack. Maybe it won't work for me to stay here after all. But either way, I'm very glad to have met you. And I'll take care of those Adepti sigils.
Without knowing the ins and outs of your situation, I can't say whether you should stay or not. But now that our paths have crossed, we'll always have a connection. So if you're ever feeling down, come find me on my ship. There'll be a drink waiting for you.
Thank you.
Hey.
So, Master Zhang, I'll need to use your facilities to make the sigils.
Fine by me. I'm actually curious to see how the Adepti arts work. Maybe I'll learn something.
Maybe. Essentially, I make the Wonder Cores and the sigils. Whoosh, whoosh, bzz, bzz, whoosh, whoosh, bang, bang, whoosh, whoosh, bang, bang, bzz.
The sigils are ready. Though they are in some respects inferior to my masters, I can assure you there will be no quality issues.
I've finished forging the things you asked for, too.
Great! Let's go submit them before someone else gets there ahead of us.
Jak by to udělali? Wonder Cores. Adepti Sigils. Hodně podobný těm, co máme. Jo, vlastně to je daleko. I když je to tak daleko na takovém místě, že prostě je to jako, že, well, tady nic není. Se natáčím celkem dlouho. Ne, že bych se kouknul. Uop. Yep. Hello, little helper.
Ningguang's little secretary! We found all the materials!
Oh, already? All three of you found them together. Okay, I see. The Wonder Cores and Adepti Sigils look good. It seems that we found our winners.
Hey, buy one cost for the participants together.
I hereby announce that the winners of this material procurement contest are the Traveler, Yunjin, and Beidou.
What? It's over already? I haven't even found the prostrate yet!
I can't believe it. So close, but so far.
I'd like to invite our three winners to please proceed to the Jade Chamber, where Lady Ningguang is waiting for you.
Oh, ready? To si nemohla počkat ve svým paláci o něco díl? Ona musela vylézt tam nahoru?
Huh? Where's Beidou? She was right here!
Captain Beidou has some business to attend to. She will join later. Please come with me for now.
Alright then, guess we'll head on up to the Jade Chamber first. This has been a long time coming. The last time we went up to the Jade Chamber was ages ago.
Jako věci nevybuchly tak dávno. Rise of the Jade Chamber. Talk to Ningguang at the Jade Chamber. Alright, here we go.
Combine the Adepti Sigils with the Wonder Cores and insert them into the Jade Chamber's control compartment. The construction of the new Jade Chamber is now officially complete. Once the tethers are released, it will soar into the sky. Thank you all for your work. Now it is time for me to fulfill my promise.
Yeah!
Miss Yun, I've already heard something about the reason for your involvement. You are looking for a venue for your new opera, aren't you?
Proč ne tady?
That's right. Lady Ningguang, I would like to hear your opinion.
The unveiling of Miss Yun's grand new opera surely requires a venue of equal grandeur. So what would you say if I proposed that we stage your first performance right here, in the newly built Jade Chamber? The Jade Chamber offers a splendid panoramic view of the mountains and the bustling city. It is fitting for the finest performance to be hosted in the heavens. I can think of no better stage for you than here, Miss Yun.
Wow.
Thank you, Lady Ningguang. Then I will prepare my props and other articles shortly. Please allow me to bring all these aboard the Jade Chamber.
You're quite welcome. It's truly what a good opera deserves.
Yay.
A traveler.
Jsem za ní tak šťastný.
Paimon, I'll be leaving now. Do come and see my play when the time comes.
You're next. What is your question?
No, what is your question?
I should clarify. I do not know your brother's whereabouts. Please, don't waste your question on this matter.
Wow, you're a mind reader, Ningguang. Oh well, guess Paimon will ask a question then.
Managing a successful business is not as simple as you might think. Capital, connections, sensitivity to the trends, and instinct for what is a good opportunity. All of these traits are crucial. If you want to know how to make money, I will honor our agreement and give you an answer. But that is not to say that it will work for you.
Wow.
Paimon hadn't even asked the question yet.
Your question was written all over your face. Now look, you helped me rebuild the Jade Chamber, and I intend to repay you handsomely for it. So I promise you that should you one day require financial assistance, you may seek employment here. I will pay you at the highest rate of remuneration.
Whoa.
Great! So next time
Damn.
we Mora, we just need to come to Ningguang? No more questions from us. Shenhe, you got a question?
Me?
Yes, this is a group effort.
Thank you. But I don't have anything to ask.
Are you sure? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'd urge you not to squander it.
Yeah, just don't waste it. Hold on a second. Paimon can probably think of another one.
Lady Ningguang, do you think I can ever fit in Liyue Harbor?
Damn. To je tak nepřesná, neurčitá otázka.
Now that is an interesting question. Liyue Harbor is very inclusive. As long as you respect the rules here, you will not be turned away. So, the key is whether or not you yourself can develop a sense of belonging in Liyue Harbor.
Huh. A sense of belonging?
Yes. To become fond of a place, to feel part of it, it always requires a reason. Perhaps someone you've met, or something you've experienced here. Or perhaps you enjoy the atmosphere of Liyue, and you will become accustomed to it. In short, everyone needs a reason to stay. I hope you can find yours soon.
I see.
Hey, what's going on? I
Hey.
just went to see the fleet. I'm a little later than expected.
Come on, Beto. It's your turn. Do you have a question for Ningguang?
Me? Nah, I ain't got any questions. She forced me to help out, so I figured I may as well get involved with the contest. Ningguang, don't forget what we talked about. It's not gonna be easy to deal with. I don't think my fleet can take it on their own.
Don't worry. I have made preparations. The wound dressings are ready, and the Millilith have set up an ambush.
Glad to hear it. Watch your back. Stay alert.
Beto? Ningguang? What are you talking about?
You'll see when the Jade Chamber ascends. However, it's not the most pleasant topic of conversation. Maybe it's better that you don't know.
Yeah, we can start the lift off.
When I first set foot in the Jade Chamber, I stood at the edge of the platform and looked down upon Liyue Harbor far below. At that time, I dreamed that one day the Jade Chamber's shadow would be seen in all 7 nations of Teyvat.
Jo, to těžko.
My wish has not changed to this very day. However, it is not only out of consideration for myself that I have built the Jade Chamber anew at this time. I hope the Jade Chamber will always float in the skies above Liyue Harbor, bearing witness to the prosperity and peace of the human world. And I hope that you can all witness it with me. Let the Ascension ceremony commence!
Hey. Catch a ride! Bude navždy vyryto v mý hlavě pokaždý, když se ostrovní budova vznese. Ne! Už zase? Tohle je hodně špatný déjà vu. Tohle je hodně špatný a nepříjemný déjà vu.
Right on cue. The Avenger of the Vortex, Beisht.
Who is that?
Osial's wife.
Oh.
Final follower of the Overlord of the Vortex.
Damn.
You knew this was coming.
Yep.
Beto sensed something was stirring in the deep. She warned me months ago. Knowing she harbors hatred toward the Jade Chamber, I chose to rebuild it now as a way of drawing her out.
Got it. Well, let's go fetch the Adepta.
No.
Not really.
In this human age, the people of Liyue must find a way to overcome this crisis on our strength alone.
Damn. Kiching! Hey, I got you. Takže se to moc nepočítá. Adeptuje nepomůžou, ale pomůžou ti, co tu žijou už. Takže někdo jako Yanfei je taky fair game. Wow. Nějaký útok? Zatím to do sebe nechá jenom šít. Damn! Rozpojbujte černoperlu, ujeďte tomu.
What's that? Wait! A giant wave!
Damn. Damn. To trochu bolelo. No. Oh, we are brave. Shenhe.
You are a cursed child. Your life brings nothing but disaster to us all.
Wow.
If you die, I can bring her back.
The day you learn how to use your strength for the good of others is the day that you can truly become part of human society.
Yes, to může být dobrý, to není kvůli tobě. Kdyby byla na to Kenrichinu, takže by ze sebe ty červený provazy strhla. No, není adeptus, je to normální člověk, takže se to nepočítá, takže to není proti pravidlu. Damn. Tak tam všechen let zmizí. Kitching toho moc neudělá s mečem. Bohužel. Go for it! Oh? I am part of this conversation now?
What are you doing here?
Indeed.
We can't let you be the only one taking this risk.
Ah, nebude.
I hardly see this as a great risk. The people of Liyue Harbor are well prepared, and she is already badly injured. Only sheer willpower is keeping her alive. I may be nearing the end of my stamina, but in a fight to the death, I think I have the upper hand.
We'll help too.
Okay, do your next thing. Ah, for the love of Celestia.
Unleash!
Yep.
Obey!
Windblade.
Okay, go for Tianfei. Útočit takhle na dálku je celkem obtížné. Alright. Něco mě napadlo. Mohl bych si teoreticky dát všechny tyhle ty boostovací věci, které tu horduju, jak jak nějaká cat lady, co jídlová verze ze nějakýho hordra. Hey, it didn't go. Hey, let's get the fire boosties.
Manifest! Unleash! Cryo incarnate!
To není až tak hrozný popravdě. What do you got, Beicht? I'm ready.
Incinerate! Obey! Steady as stone.
I'll get you with my fire. You shall never escape Yanfei. Hey.
Shouldn't we go after her?
This place is unstable. It is too risky to continue pursuing her. If the place collapsed, the consequences would be disastrous. Let's head back.
Zajímavé, že jsme na dně oceánu, v podstatě. Anyway, fun. Fun was had. Are you alright?
I'm just a little exhausted. Otherwise, fine. I wanted to deal with it myself. I didn't expect you to follow me. Don't worry. She's not coming back anytime soon. After an injury like that, she'll likely seek refuge somewhere else.
How did things go underwater?
Yeah.
It's been dealt with. She was injured before entering the water. It didn't take too much effort to finish the job.
Good. So the crisis has been safely averted. When you visit the Jade Chamber in the future, you will be afforded generous treatment.
Thank you.
Ningguang, the fleet reports that the sea monster has left Guyan Stone Forest and the surrounding waters have returned to normal.
Thank you. How are the Millilith?
Thanks to the medical supplies you prepared and Lady Keqing's command, our losses were minimal. Of course, we owe huge thanks to this young lady for her help. On behalf of the entire Millilith, thank you for your service.
Shenhe protected us.
Great. Then next time I watch Miss Yun's opera, I'll be able to take the compliments. I wasn't trying to be a hero, though. I just wanted to protect you.
Let the soldiers recuperate, but don't let your guard down. If she returns with a vengeance, we must be prepared.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been monitoring us for some time now. I trust you've reached a conclusion.
I am.
You wish to hear one's opinion. Well, things would have hardly gone so smoothly had it not been for Shenhe.
That I do not deny. However, final victory was always going to be ours, even had things been a little more arduous. If it came to it, I could always destroy another Jade Chamber.
One has observed your adaptation of the Guizhong Ballista, and find oneself compelled to admit that you have evidenced some degree of novel thinking. You have learned from past failures and prepared for this crisis in advance. This is considerable progress compared to the last time. Hence, on balance, one finds your performance during this trial satisfactory enough. But there will no doubt be further trials to come in the future. Do not suppose that one will not continue observing you hereafter.
While the position of Tianquan remains mine, I will always ensure Liyue's safety.
Shenhe, One saw you secretly venture out from the mountains a few years ago, and noticed the air of dejection in which you returned. Hopefully this trip to Liyue Harbor has been a different experience.
Yes. I can't explain it, but I feel happier than I expected.
Ah,
Good.
you're welcome.
Traveler, please take good care of Shenhe. She is a dear child. In fact, one has many fond memories of Shenhe's
Ah, here we go.
There'll be no need for that.
Oh. They are all like this. Fine. Since you care not to listen, one shan't be telling you. One shall be going homeward now.
Please, have a good rest. Come to the Jade Chamber when you have recovered your energy. We must celebrate both the completion of the Jade Chamber and the fact that Liyue has weathered another crisis. This banquet must be the most spectacular ever.
Yeah. A když už tu jsme... Smashy, smashy, smashy! Ooh, many good stuff. Anything else? Of course there is. Yeah. Je to všechno? Už nejsem kontraktován to všechno vyprázdnit? Excellent. Kitching. Samozřejmě se s tebou promluvíme, viděli jsme tě jenom v cinematiku a moc jsme se nepotkali.
The Millilith's casualties are within the range we expected. But in hindsight, there were still flaws with our plan. If we'd had more time, we could have built a barrier here to absorb the impact of the waves. We must learn from this experience and never repeat the same mistakes again. We were fortunate to have your assistance this time. Thank you.
You're welcome. Alright. Bych konečně všechno vytěžil a marknu si to for the future times. Tady je Baidu její loď. Jade Chamber je teleport point. Jestli to tak zůstane, tak to bude hodně cool.
Wow, everyone's already seated. It's Paimon's first time attending a banquet in the Jade Chamber. The food here looks amazing.
All of you here are my distinguished guests. I am determined that each of you thoroughly enjoys yourself. Those who don't drink alcohol, please, help yourself to other beverages.
Já chci alkohol.
Fine wine is a delight to the senses, but it is far from the only one. I trust you will find the marvelous view from the Jade Chamber to be an equally gratifying indulgence.
Have you heard? Miss Yun's going to be performing today.
Sure have. Honestly, it's the main reason I'm here. I've never missed any of Miss Yun's performances, and I don't intend to start now. I hear she's going to perform The Divine Damsel of Devastation today, the one written by her father. I've been so excited that I've barely slept the last few nights.
Hey, look! Miss Yun is going on stage!
Jej. Opera. Přeci jenom ji vidíme. A v Advanced Cinematic No HUD modu. No, bylo řečeno, že má radši tu její tu její lepší verzi. Yep. Storybook moment. Jak jsem věděl, že když to bude dělat tu operu, takže bude storybook moment. dealujeme v originální japonštině IC.
仙女披冠到这里本该接近尾声，但今日我再添一笔，唱与诸位
Přeci jenom to řekne.
彼时鹤归，茫茫天地无依靠，孤身离去。今日再会，新朋旧友坐满堂，共聚此时。
Wow.
Personally, I thought I sang rather well.
Wow, tak to bylo ta nejúžasnější věc, co jsem za hodně dlouhou dobu viděl. A to bylo ve hře, a to jsem nekoukal na žádný film, ani na žádnou nějaký seriál epizodový. To byl nejlepší cinematik, který jsem kdy viděl. A něco je na tom, na té japonštině, že to bylo víc fitting. Potřebuji se emočně recovernout. Oh boy. To bylo tak nádherný, jako kdybych sledoval abridgenutou verzi nějakého anime. Teď chci Shenhe strávit víc času, ale vím, že to není. It is not meant to be. Shenhe teďka prostě někam odejde a bude sama někdy a nebude se chtít socializovat. A i kdyby jo, tak je bindnutá těmi červenými provazy, takže nebude moc expressnout žádný pocity. Anyway. Už to celkem opadává. Už jsem v pohodě. Wow. It's okay. What did you think? Personally, I thought I sang rather well. Yeah, bylo to celkem dobrý, celkem to ušlo.
It was beautiful. Paimon wants to learn too.
It was wonderful. Also, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks to you, the Divine Damsel of Devastation is a more nuanced tale than ever. The play has an ending, but life goes on. I believe you will find a way to fit in Liyue Harbor.
Thank you. I think I've found the opportunity I needed to change.
Ms. Yun, here you are. Great to see you. Huh? Hey, this young lady with the white hair looks like some kind of VIP. Yeah, that's it, like an adeptus.
Oh my fucking god.
You're the girl from the opera, aren't you? The divine damsel herself. And look who else we have here, the illustrious traveler. Well, I'll be. This was definitely worth showing up for. Let me pull up a chair, all right. We'll all have a friendly chat, get better acquainted.
Bože, jak tohle skončí.
Alternatively, you could leave us alone. That is, if you'd prefer to finish your drink via the orifice of your own choice.
Uh-oh, this feels all too familiar. Shenhe's back to her old self again.
It seems she still has a long way to go.
Hey, what are you doing?
Calm down, Shenhe. Calm down.
Interlude Act 1 complete. The crane returns on the wind. Regeneres vos fin.
Now that I think about it, I'm glad Master sent me here to deliver the sigils. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had the chance to meet you. I'm sure I have much to learn from you in the future.
To act, one must first feel. After our trip to Mount Tianheng together, I felt much more in touch with the character today. I believe I was able to deliver a more profound performance because of it. Next time I have a new opera, may we study the character together again.
No, máme ještě jednu osobu, se kterou si můžeme promluvit.
You've made an exceptional contribution toward the building of the new Jade Chamber. I will not forget this. I shall be sure to repay your kindness at an appropriate juncture.
Well, that's it. Tohle byla journey. Tohle byla hodně velká, hodně zajímavá journey. Je to tady? Yeah. Interlude Chapter Act 1. Je to tu zaznamenaně. I see. Well. Popojdeme, aby na nás nikdo nekoukal, tak by. Zakončíme to tady. Let's sit at the end. Well, byla to hodně zajímavá dlouhá journey, ale každá journey má svůj konec a dorazili jsme na konec tohoto dílu. Pravděpodobně dvoudílného, bohužel. Bylo to celkem dlouhý, ale pokud to bude trvat míň než 3 hodiny, tak to zkusím dát do jednoho. Jestli to bude nad 2 hodiny 50 minut celková ta recording sessiona, kterou nahrávám momentálně, tak to bude 2 díly. Takže jste pravděpodobně neměli žádný intro na začátku v tom předělu ani goodbye, protože jsem to musel přetvořit někde uprostřed. Oh well. Taky tam bylo ta Dainsleifova akt 4 prolog vsuvka, která byla delší, než jsem čekal. Jsem rád, že jsem to udělal. A ještě není konec. Abyss orderské intriky a hlavní pohlaváři treasure hoarderů společně s legendárním zlodějem se smrákají nad ruinama někde v Liyue. Ale to nás pořád ještě čeká v této v podstatě mid-season finále mezi koncem Liyue a začátkem Inazumi. Taková mid-season finále. Takže příště nás čeká to. Pak samozřejmě bude další příval story questu a hangoutu, který mám naplánovaný. To ještě všechno, čeho dočkáme. A pak až bude Inazuma. Tam někde. Někde v dáli. Takže samozřejmě to bude všechno, jakože jste si dívali, ale tohle ještě není konec. Protože, jak víte, tak tradice hovoří jasně, takže si dáme wish. A jelikož tohle bylo hodně dlouhé a hodně pracné a jelikož to pravděpodobně rozdělím, což bych se mohl kouknout, tak budou 2 wishe. samozřejmě adjustnu to. Upravím kolik vyšů bude podle toho, jak moc kolik hoven dostanu. Jako vždycky. Ale budu doufat. Když se teď podívám, jak to nahrávám, bych vám to mohl říct jistotou, protože sám nevím. Ale já rád dělám videa takhle na náhodu, moc je nechci plánovat. Aby to bylo... Jsem rád, když to je takový víc spontánní. Anyway, jdu se podívat. Tak už jsem se podíval a jsem o něco moudřejší. A situace je taková, že v podstatě v tenhle moment nahrávám téměř 3 hodiny přesně on the dot. Takže ještě s dalším minisegmentem, který plánuju, to bude ještě přes pár minut, takže to bude na 2 části, bohužel. Jsem taky zhruba naplánoval, kde udělám ten předěl, což je docela v dobrým, zajímavým místě a nechá to takový menší cliffhanger. Yes, I'm evil, I know. But cliffhangers are good. Cliffhangery jsou dobrý, když vyvíjíte příběh. Když ho konzumujete, tak moc ne. Anyway, je to jeden segment a ten udělám, i když ty první části tohodle dlouhého segmentu bude chybět, ale tenhle díl v podstatě bude za oba, proto minimálně 2 ten puly. Takže ano, budeme vyšovat. Minimálně 2 puly, za každý díl 1 a pokud dostanu nějaký hovna, tak to možná navýším. Teda mám skoro dostatek na další ten půl, plus jsem četl v update notech, že jsou nějaký daily login rewardy, který dohromady za 7 dní dají 10 těch intertwined fateů. Takže na to jsem taky zvědavej. Ale dneska jsem nic nedostal, takže dám tomu šanci do zítra a pak možná udělám nějaký research. Takže jdeme na to. Jsou tu 2 charaktery vyše, jak už je po updateu, což je very good choice. Very good choice. Máme zase na to 20 dní, jak uvidíme. Máme tu Shenhe a Xiao. Tyhle ty 3 jsou zase pořád stejný. Se nemění. Tohle je taky pořád stejný. Tady jsou trošku jiný zbraně. Tohle to používala Shenhe automaticky. A jelikož jsem kdo jsem, tak se zaměříme na Shenhe. Taky ji potom, zvláště po tom questu mám hodně rád a doufám, že jí věci půjdou dobře. Že proč ne? Jako, samozřejmě šance, že ji dostaneme, je tak astronomicky malá, že to ani není vtipný. Ale když už budeme rolovat pro ty 4-starový, tak 5-starová možnost je na stole technicky vzato, takže to přiznám tu možnost, že to je možnost, ale nebudu ji brát nějak speciálně vážně. Ohledně nějakých doufání, který většinou takhle přednáším v tuhletu dobu, k minule jsem dostával jungling pořád neustále, jakožto jedinou z těch 3-4 hvězdičkových postav, kterou jsem nechtěl až tak moc, tak jsem jim dostával exkluzivně. Teď je na stejném místě napozorený Chongyun, který je v zhruba stejné pozici u mě. Mám dokonce asi 3 konstelace k němu, ale nějak o něj nestojím. Ningguang je ne až tak super special, ale kdybych k ní měl konstelace, tak by byla docela už dobrá. A jelikož je spellcasterská s geodimagem, tak by mohla být zajímavá v určitých situacích a nový charakter a jako celkem jí mám rád. I když používá spíru, takže nebude asi to nějak tak special. A Shenhe je oni jsou v podstatě stejný díl. Dobrá postava, co se týče osobnosti, ale Ta spíra. Každá postava, která má spíru, je skoro určitě useless, pokud nemají nějaký dobrý elementární gimmick. Well, let's see what we got. And... Okay, no surprises from the beginning. Číslo 2. Číslo 3. A je to Chongyun, já to věděl. Já věděl, že mi podstrčí Chongyuna. Já to tušil. Oni se spolčili proti mně. Oni vždycky dají jednu nezajímavou postavu tam dozadu a pořád vám ji budou dávat. Ano, tak prosím, číslo 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, sice malá šance, že dostanu dvakrát, ale ne. Hej, máme Chongyuna, jaká to úžasná novina. Protože guess what? Kolik nemá konstelaci? 3. Typnul jsem to správně. A co máš další, ty chuju? Concentration level 4. Chongyun regenerates 1 energy every time he hits an opponent affected by cryo. This effect can occur every 2 seconds. To je docela zajímavý, takže svoji elemental burst abilitu regeneruje ještě rychleji. Co si pamatuju zhruba, tak on si ji regeneruje už tak rychleji než ostatní postavy a teď si regeneruje ještě rychleji. Tady to je standardní level up věc a tohle nevím přesně co je. To je možná ten skill. Skill deals more damage to opponents with lower percentage of their max HP be remaining than Chongyun. Takže když mají méně HP než Chongyun, tak jim dává bonus damage. This skill will also summon 1 additional Spirit Blade. Zajímavý. To je celkem useful. Má Claymore weaponu, takže je celkem good-ish. Ale musel bych ho hodně jakože nabuffovat, aby se dostal na úroveň. Co si pamatuju, tak jeho attack speed je jeden z nejpomalejších vůbec. Prostě jako je poznat, že Keqing je obviously prostě rychlejší ve svém útoku než průměr, tak u něj poznáte přesný opak. Prostě on je tak pomalej a useless. Kež by byl useful. Já bych ho rád uvítal, kdyby byl useful, ale on je prostě jeden z těch, který prostě takový štěstí nemají. Well, dostali jsme první ze 2 je hotový a dostali jsme pup ještě k tomu. Stardew jsem utratil za to, že jo. Jo, to jsem vlastně utratil, protože už jsem nějaký měl. Tady jsme si koupili tu, nevím, co to bylo, myslím, že to byla Fischl. Že tu stojím o něco víc než o Zhangling. Zhangling stejně mám namaxovanou, takže to byl no-brainer. Buď postavu, kterou můžu dostat, kterou jsem neměl, nebo tu, kterou jsem dostal asi 200krát. Což skoro ani není joke. Na druhé straně těch fejtů mám 40, takže to bych mohl taky nějaký utratit. Ty skoro nikdy nevyužívám. Well, I shall try one more time. At this point, možná bych uvítal nějakou 4kovou zbraň. You know what? Why not? Jenom pokud to nebude Chongyun. Jestli to bude Chongyun, tak já něco rozmlátím. Musím myší klikat, já myslím, že můžu lamentovat s mezerníkem, ale musím natáhnout ruku. Ningguang! Well, druhá z těch 3, kterou... Já jsem chtěl dostat tu novou, ale bohužel. Ne, jsem zase ztratil. Jdem. Jaký ty Dragon Star knížky se nechám. Jsou celkem useful. No. Well, you're welcome, Ningguang. You have one more power up to go. Wow. Here we go. K ní nemám nic. Piercing fragments, level 1. When a normal attack hits, it deals AoE damage. To je docela dobrý. When Jade Screen is shattered, its cooldown will reset. Takže když to použiju tou ultinou, která myslím shatterne ten Jade Screen, tak ten to resetne věc. Level up. A tady už se nedostaneme. Jade Screen increases nearby resistance. Interesting. Další oblik level up. When Star Shatter is used, Ningguang gains 7 Star Jades. Interesting. On je trošku v lepším stavu než Chongyun. Její detekce oréček dělá celkem useful a jako je celkem useful ve svém určitým způsobem, ale jako, I don't know. Možná? Jsme dostali Chongyuna a Ningguang. Takže nám zbývá dostat tyhle dvě postavy. Ale to bude bohužel asi všechno. Jo, tady mám skoro 50. You know what? Jako dneska toho máme za sebou hodně a je to takovej deal za poslední dva díly, tak můžu říct, že v jednom díle jsem utratil 2, v jednom 1, což by nebylo až tak unusual. A nic tady může být všechno možný. Já mám tunu z těch vyšů a nevím, co s tím mám moc dělat, takže why not? Možná mě něčím potěší. Možná dostanu nějakou novou 4kovou zbraň. A nebo možná ne. Všechno se může stát. A když jsem dneska prošel takovou hromadou věcí, tak zase ekvivalentní hromadu rád přijmu. Okay. 3. 4. Rust. Wow. Je to celkem dobrý look, ale postava, která Rust využívá, bude k ničemu, dokud se nedostane do Inazumi, což bude celkem dlouho. Well, I got what I got. To je dnešní úděl. Ano, se můžeme dočeknout. Ano, je to Aloy. Ta momentálně používá Rust. A nedávno jsem ji revizoval, aby byla in shape. Že increase normal attack damage by 40 na 50%. Charge attack damage bude sice o trošku menší než normálně, ale ten se moc stejně nepoužívá. Že there you go. Refajme rank 2. Zase o trošičku silnější. Ona sama bude trošku silnější někdy potom, ale to zase v budoucnu. No, tak to bude všechno už z každé možné cesty, takže já děkuju, že jste se dívali na tuhletu ságu velmi zajímavých, závažných věcí. A příští díl bude o něco klidnější, něco víc low stakes. Bude zase při zemi oproti tomuhle, co se tady stalo. Takže to bude ode mě všechno. Já děkuji, že jste se dívali na to všechno a pokud půjdete spát, tak dobrou noc.